Right, welcome guys, stay Giga Chat, spam noted. Today in this video, I'm gonna cover about how I think about Brel hard mode. Recently, I heard from a lot of people that, like some of the people cleared the gate 6 of the Brel hard, which is, good, but majority of people were, not possible to beat them. And the same thing, like, to be honest, it happened in KR, and this raid came out almost 2 years ago. And back then, it wasn't nerfed at all. By the way, Brel Hard got nerfed almost around 10 times over the time. And trust me, even nowadays, as a close to eye level party, it is a super big jail. So let's talk about this part. So a lot of Korean players actually think that Brel Hard is one of the worst or even the hardest among all the contents that exist in KR. And I can come up with two major reasons for this. Number one is that there are so many mech like gimmicks that requires hardcore level of cooperation. And number two is the length of the gate. If you see here, Brel has 6 gate, right? Vulcan has 2 gate, Vicus 3, Clown 3, and Arcan has 3 as well. And for other Abyss dungeon that does not exist in the West, they also have 4 gates as a max. Yeah, so you can see how long Brel is by having 6 gate. The thing is, Brel Hard came out after Brel Normal, and it shares a lot of same or similar patterns and gimmicks already. But what's the reason why a lot of people struggles against this Brel Hard raid compared to other Legion raids? Well, think it like this. I'm pretty sure that majority of the party turns into a jail in this kind of sequence. So they process the early gates without any flaw, like flawlessly. But then like around like gate 4 or even on pro kill on gate 2 or gate 5 and 6, one person starts to make one mistake. But that one single mistake from one person is really punishing in Brel Hard, right? And that wipes the raid, and you reprog, and whenever you reprog, people starts to lose their concentration, and they start to mess up the things one another, and that's how it becomes a jail. And this is really brutal when it comes to newbies, because especially in KR, this might not be a thing in the West, but in Korea, since this is a content that came out before 2 years ago, what's happening is that majority of the party requires at least 1580 to clear all the way to gate 6 of hard Brel, because most of the Korean players out is already over 1580. That's where the average are. So for newbies, it is really hard to even find the program party for 1560, and even if they do, most likely they will not be able to clear in week 1 or 2. Like, it's gonna take a long time even after a lot of nerf. You guys might try to compare this with other games like Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft, but I'm not here to compare with other games. Come on, we're living in 2023 where people value their own time a lot more than the past, right? And raid like Brel Hard, which consumes a lot of time from the players, I don't think it's well made. Yeah, like if you think about Arcan, by the way, Arcan is considered as a very well made raid, and the reason is because if I try to compare with Brel Hard has a lot of gimmicks that require cooperation. It's gimmick oriented. You know what I'm saying? But for Arcan, like there's not much cooperative gimmick. There's few, and most of the time, it all comes down to combat. So that's why it's getting a lot of love from the Korean players. Yeah, and they made Arcan like this because they know that they didn't they didn't make the raid well on making Brel Hard, and they acknowledged that, and they made Arcan as fascinating as possible. But what I'm trying to say is that I think they need to also consider, like, try to change some stuff on the Brel Hard. I mean, they can, nerf the Brel, but nerfing the Brel already happened almost 10 times, and I don't think it's gonna help even if they try to nerf it more. What I think it matters a lot is the length of the gate. Like, this is a real problem. Like 6 gate. Come on, like you know, Lost Ark is a plus 18 game, right? Which means majority of the people have job. And imagine progging content like a Brel, especially Brel Hard, which has 6 gate. Isn't that like super devastating? And Lost Ark is a game that requires people to run multiple alt. Think about that as well. So, in my subjective, honest opinion, I think it would be better to reduce the 6 gate to 4 gate, like, removing 2 gates. Maybe those gates can be gate 2 and gate 5. Yeah, gate 5 has a lot of hardcore cooperations, and gate 2 has pro kill, right? And like one person have to go into pro kill, set all other 7 people have to fight something else. I feel like, when it comes to that system itself, I don't think it's well made because one person. So that's like giving a lot of pressure and responsibility to one person, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, because fighting pro kill is really fun, but like that's not the part of what I'm saying. It actually gives a lot of pressure to the one guy, and I think that's not well made. Similar thing goes in Archon Raid in Gate 3. One person have to go into a sewer and clean up all the floor, and the other 7 just have to combat with the Archon. Like, what is that? You didn't hone to, be a janitor in the sewer, right? Like, you honed to fight against the Legion commander, and I don't understand why there's a system like that that gives, high pressure, like high responsibility to a certain player. So I think they have to, fix this one person responsibility kind of systems. Other than that, Archon is a pretty fine raid. Yeah, it's very chill. And I kind of feel like, sorry to the developers of saying, like, of wanting them to, reduce the gate of the Brel, because at first they made the 6 gate by thinking that players would be really happy and, having a lot of fun, right? Like, I mean, their cutscenes and effect, the stories during this raid is actually really cool, right? But the problem is, when it comes to the MMO, which it involves with a lot of, repetitive contents, cutscene and content is just like one time, like, usable. You know what I'm saying? What it actually matters a lot is the actual gameplay. And when it comes to the dungeon gameplay, Brel Hard is not that good. Yeah, and I already talked about this before, right? Length of the gate and hardcore, gimmicks. Well, hopefully, as you can see today, there was a post that came out from the Play Lost Ark, and you can see that they're gonna try to alleviate the player's exhaustion by starting with nerfing the Argos, right? Yeah, like reducing some, gimmicks. And I think this is a very great start because I feel like since this is a start, maybe like when the average of the, players base goes close to around 1600, then by that time, maybe Volten Vicus kind of, raid can also be like much more friendly to the newbies. And I also saw a post of someone who translated this in the Korean Invent. Invent is a Korean site of Lost Ark community, by the way. And a lot of people were hyped about it. Yeah, actually. So you can tell that a lot of KR players are also looking forward to this. And this has never been released in KR. Literally, this is the first post. That's why it got reverse, imported to KR by translating it. And I'm also looking forward to it as well. Anyways, that's all for today. Stay GigaChat, spam noted. Hope you guys enjoyed, and come to twitch.tv/memorizer92. That's the most important part. Yeah, I need to earn some money. Bye, guys.